Hello everyone, Amod here from the Target Common YouTube channel, and today's video will be a doubt clearing session. So in my last video where I explained about the Lambda expression in Java, I got a comment which is actually a doubt, and I think this will be doubt for many beginners. If you have watched my video from starting in this Stream API playlist, then you might understand this concept. But if you have not watched or if you have any doubt, I will suggest you to go through this video once. So what was the doubt? But before going to the comment, let me go to code, whatever I have written in my previous video. You can see here, we have one interface called vehicle. Here, actually it is a functional interface. Functional interface means any interface should consist of only one abstract method. That way, then we can call that interface as a functional interface. And I have one class called BMW car, and inside this I use the Lambda expression to implement the unimplemented method provided by interface vehicle, right? So the question was, you can see one thing, this is my Lambda expression, and left hand side we are storing it in vehicle type. Vehicle is an interface. So the question was, it is the doubt from Rahul Gupta. I have a doubt how Lambda expression is returning vehicle type in below line of code. Okay, the main thing is like he wants to know why and how the left hand side is an interface type. I've already covered this concept, but yeah, let me connect all the dots so that you can understand in one video only. So let's write some old codes so that you can understand. Okay, I've already covered that video, but you had some doubts, so it will be clear. So let me take this example only. We have one interface vehicle and we have one method called honk. This is parameterized method. Okay. So what is the typical way if you want to implement an interface? We go and create a class. Okay, so let me go and let me create a new class called Audi car. Okay, and I am going to use the keyword implements, and I will use the vehicle. Generally we create an interface, then we create a class, we implement that interface in that class, and we provide the implementation for method defined in vehicle, right? So let me go here and let me add an implemented method, right? So this is method. Let me print something like return fn normal thing, okay. So this I have given one body, like it is passing like it is taking two arguments fn and ln, and whatever they are passing I am simply returning by concatenating both, and in between I am giving the white space. That's all I am doing. This is typical way. If I want to call this method, what I need to do, I will create a main method, or you can create another class and you can call it there as well. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an object of child class, right? Why child class means, because you can say this is vehicle, this is parent here, because this one is implementing this one, means this is parent and this is child. So I am creating an object of child class here. Okay, this is Java, typical Java concepts, and I can call the method now honk, right? And I will pass Amod, and last name I will pass Mahajan. Okay, so since I am returning something here, so let me use the sysout, so that it will print whatever it is returning. Okay, let me run this program and see what is the output. Okay, we can see it printing Amod Mahajan, right? Because first name and last name separated by a white space. This is typical style where we are creating a class and implementing the interface. Now we have covered one concept called anonymous class. In that concept, what we do, we don't explicitly implement the interface. Instead, what we do, we create the anonymous class, a class without name called anonymous class. Okay, but before that, let me go back. Let me cover one concept. This is child class, right? And vehicle is the parent class. In Java, if you are creating an object of child class, you can store this object or this reference in the same type, means the same child class type, or you can use the parent type. What is the parent type here? Vehicle. So instead of Audi car, if I use the vehicle type, okay, then also this method can be called perfectly fine because I use the concept of upcasting. I store the reference of child class object into a parent type. Okay, so this is called upcasting, and this is only the concept everywhere. Now you see how it is related. So what I was saying that I am not going to implement the vehicle interface explicitly. What I'll do, I am going to use the inverse class concept. So I will remove this part, okay, and I'll remove this part as well. I will simply comment as of now. So because there is no, we cannot create an object like this now, right? Because this is not implementing any interface. Instead of that, we are going to use the inverse class concept. How we create the inverse class? Instead of using this class name, I use the same type, same interface type, and instead of giving the semicolon, we need to give the curly open and close braces, and then it will show me the red mark here. If you mouse over, it will say that okay, add unimplemented method. Okay, and let me use this statement here. Okay, so and here I need to give the semicolon because this is an inverse class is a statement here. So what I did, instead of creating a new class and then implementing the interface explicitly, instead of that, I use the inverse class concept, and I use this way to provide the implementation to the unimplemented method of vehicle interface. Okay, now if I run the program, we'll get the same output. Right, we are getting same output. So we are two stages are clear. First stage was we have one class which is explicitly implementing the interface and providing the body like this. Another way we had where we are using the inverse class concept to provide the method implementation. This concept I have already covered in my previous videos. So you can provide multiple implementation, okay, in the same class. There is no need to create multiple classes and individually implementing the interface and then giving the body. No need of that one. In one time, in one line only, you can create the inverse class concept. Now this inverse class concept can be replaced using the Lambda expression, which is Java 8 concept. Why? Because in Lambda expression says that remove the obvious things. Obvious things means we know that we are going to provide the implementation for interface which you are using, okay, or you are going to provide the implementation for an interface, for any interface, okay. So instead of writing this explicitly, why we are writing? Simply remove this part, okay, remove this part, okay. Then we know that whatever interface you are going to use, that is a function interface, and in function interface we will have only one method, one abstract method. Then why we are mentioning it again here, like method name, what it is going to return, and what is public, and then override annotation. There is no need to write, right? So we can remove this part because these are obvious things. Now we are left with two things. This is parameter, okay, and then we have the implementation. So here we know that this method will take two parameters and the type will be a string, right? You can see this method will be taking two arguments and the type will be string. So why we are explicitly mentioning it? So just remove it, okay. We are removing this part. Now this is the parameter and these are the implementation, correct? In this case only two things are required, this part and this part. And lambda expression says that these two parts should be separated using the arrow operator. So let me put the arrow. Okay, and let me put in one line only. Why to have multiple lines? Okay, and we can remove this part and put the semicolon here. So we have only this much short statement. First part parameters, second part implementation. We are using the this parenthesis because we are using the return statement that I covered in the last video. If you are not returning anything, then you can remove this one, but make sure that your method return type is void. Okay, it should be void, not string. Okay, if I run the program, we'll get the same output. Right? So this part was constant. Okay, and this part is the lambda expression. Now obviously, because this is actually, if you see, this is the advanced version of anonymous class. Correct? Anonymous class means we don't have name of that class. So how can we create an object of that class for which you don't know the name? So what option we are left with? Only upcasting the object, right? And we have only one option, so we are using the vehicle type here. Okay, so this concept, this left hand side part concept is coming from your basic concept of implementing an interface using the class. Okay, so if you have any doubt, please comment in this video. If you have, if you want me to cover any different doubt session or any specific concept of Java Stream API, so you can comment that as well. If you really like my videos, please like, comment, subscribe and share with others. Thank you everyone.